and it's Rob Manfred is Pontius Pilate,
Yeah,
which actually kind of sort of makes, I think that makes sense.
I don't think letting in Pete Rose is as much as killing of the Savior. However,
Has anyone ever given credit to the fucking Cincinnati Reds for winning the 1990 World Series? No, never.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gentlemen, let's go. Let's get after it.
What was that?
Hey, that's a clap. Called a clap.
gentlemen,
Ooh,
How are you?
how are you?
that was vain. That was throaty.
Yeah, buddy.
Chris had a pack of
Came
cigarettes
from the
for.
gooch.
Oh, baby, let's go. Welcome to Juice Boy Show. Episode 89. So stupid. Three Brothers-in-Law start a podcast, and they haven't shut us down yet. I can't believe it. Episode 89. Almost 90. Almost a round number. Almost something to be proud of. I am the Juice Boy. I am not the Juice Boy Joe. I'm not.
No, you're not.
God, you are just not on your A game.
I am the third turd, Cody, acting like a third
There it
turd. We
is.
got Juice Boy Joe. We got the Professor Pelletier. Thanks for joining. Shows drop every Friday. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, Tickety Talk, all the fun pieces of sports content. And whenever you're listening, however,
sir.
we thank you so much, Juice Junkie. It's been just a pleasure to get to know you, to shake
pleasure.
your hands, to get your opinions each week.
You're shaking hands?
Yeah. Who's what?
With the Ghana?
You've met
the Ghana?
You've met Chet in Perth?
Of course. We're besties.
you love
Guys, we have got an announcement. Joe, you were not aware of this.
No.
The sports Emmys took place,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if we won or not, but we did get a letter in the mail from the committee, and I think they sent it to Chris's house. Chris, did you get that?
They did.
Did we win? Was it what did they send us? Okay.
So
Yeah,
we got a
we
letter from the good people at the Sports Emmys.
Okay.
Surely they finally got their head out of their asses and
say
gave
so.
us some sort of well-deserved and very prestigious award. Let's crack this bad boy open and see what we got. Okay.
Okay. Well, open that letter up. What
It's
do
a
we got?
letter from their legal team.
Shit.
It's a cease and desist.
Damn it.
Stating, please, for the love of God, please stop sending us daily letters requesting consideration for a sports Emmy. We truly do not care how high you are in the rankings in Ghana. Also,
You should.
enclosed, you will find we have returned the 50 Russian rubles you sent to, quote, sweeten the deal. And we're not sure where the hell you got these. We also returned the case of Juice Boy Show calendars featuring the three of you in very ill-fitting lingerie.
Damn it. I thought that
And
would work.
last, the letter from Patrick Mahomes totally vouching for you all was clever, but riddled with spelling mistakes.
So it
Actually had
good.
us believing it was him for a moment, but we are on to you all. Any further attempts to harass, intimidate, or sexually arouse members of the selection committee will be met with harsh legal consequences.
The arousal was my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
Joey, were you sending letters again?
I mean, two
all
thoughts
the time.
come to mind.
More
Like, first,
pictures.
we
Tasteful.
very clearly have made the big time. And second, I can't help but notice that one of these very sexy calendars has a single tasteful nude of Joey ripped out of it.
Oh.
I think they might be a
kept
little more into it than they were willing to admit.
Oh, they returned the calendars? They didn't.
They returned the
They kept my
calendars,
picture.
but
But
they
they
thought
kept-
that I wasn't going to notice. There's one.
What month was
Joey
it?
pic missing. It was January. Those nips were frigid.
Jojo.
That was the best one.
Wait, hold on. So did we not win? Cease and desist is not a
we did not.
rejection. Damn it.
But it is recognition. Any
Ah.
publicity
They
is
know
good
we
publicity.
exist.
So
They know
yeah.
we exist.
And the Ghana was Ghana in the letter? Maybe they had to listen to get the Ghana news. Huh?
Oh, tricky.
We are in. We are in with the
I think
committee.
just a few more letters, boys. I think we're basically there.
All right. What are we drinking? How are we doing? We're back in the groove.
What are you two
I'm
drinking?
drinking whiskey
Okay.
and the Fort Collins staple Voodoo Ranger. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it
Attaboy.
up there next weekend because it's stupid graduation. It's not stupid. Congratulations.
I was gonna say,
I'm
wait a
gonna be-
second.
That's like
I
my
was going to say
entire
that does
point.
not sound stupid.
It's like my entire point of my job is to get these kids to graduate high school. So it's absolutely the opposite of stupid. I just, I think I'd rather be up at New Belgium at the art show that weekend at the Makers Market. Anybody listening, the 31st of May, go to New Belgium in Fort Collins, enjoy a Voodoo Ranger yourself, and buy some Moonrise Arts studio art.
Ooh.
And we
Nice
will-
plug.
There we go.
There we go.
Nice
Quick
plug.
hitter. Quick hitter.
I'm drinking a Kansas City whiskey in a Fort Collins glass. Rieger whiskey
Sending
and a
mixed signals.
Lucky.
in a Fort Collins glass. How about me, guys?
Way to
How
go.
about me? Let's jump into it. We got a sports docket. Short and sweet. We got a big potato. Got a big stat of the day. We got a listener submitted squeeze and myself. We're so back, guys. Let's jump right into it. Guys, let's jump into MLB real quick. Okay.
We have
We
to.
should. We didn't touch on it last week.
We didn't touch on it, but some big news happened. Pete Rose is dead, which
Wait,
we've talked about.
Okay,
Skip
we already knew
NBA?
that.
Shoeless Joe Jackson has been dead for a very long time.
True.
And the commissioner has decided to make them eligible for the Hall of Fame. Now, this is not as easy as it sounds. The MLB is taking their ban off. Now they're eligible to go through the committees and the voting process of the Baseball Hall of Fame, which is a completely separate entity to Major League Baseball. But Major League Baseball and the Hall of Fame were kind of like they were together in unison on the situation with Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, the Black Sox. So now Rob Manfred has lifted his part so he can wipe his hands clean of it, and now it is thrown to, I think there's like a historical committee, and then it has to get voted on. So it's not he's walking into the Hall of Fame. But now that Pete Rose is dead, should he be in? Should Shoeless Joe be in? Any of the Black Sox guys?
We talked about this when he died. The night before he died, like all that. No, he shouldn't be in. He broke the rules. He knew he broke the rules. You shouldn't be in. It's the same way
He broke it
that-
as a manager. Should he his playing career? Huh?
Okay. We could probably go there and then just have the whole story. Sure, because as a player, he needs to be in. There is no evidence of him gambling and affecting games as a player. So you can do that. However, I don't think he's ever going to get in because, as you said, now it comes down to the human aspect. And all of these old school baseball reporters hate change. They hate
True.
anything that is different. They're just going to sit there and lie on their laurels for the rest of their lives. Barry Bonds will never get in. Mark McGwire will never get in. Sammy Sosa will never get in. Roger Clemens will never get in. Pete Rose will never get in. They're never going to vote on him. They will never do it.
Never.
And it's just like they're never going to do it. I mean, it's just like to this point, it was all just for a show. Everyone knows Rob Manfred's just a stupid asshole that's just trying to get any publicity whatsoever because the sport is just not doing well right now.
It's
You know,
doing
and
well.
so
It's just ESPN fucked. All the ratings are up. It's more
yeah,
just
the ratings are up, but
Yes.
just the game itself, they're trying too many different things, trying too many things. It's like, yes, it's doing well because of Shohei Ohtani, and it's doing well because of the World Baseball Classic, but they can't do that every single year. He won't get in. I mean, people like Tim Kirchin will die before they vote.
But also, he was banned for life, Chris, and his life is
Over.
checks notes over.
Over.
So, therefore, logic?
I mean, didn't Shoeless Joe go to the grave saying, I never cheated. I never took that money. I never.
I think he bats. Joe, I think he bat 376 in the World Series. I'm not sure how
So
a
he
man
was
would
trying.
throw. I don't know how a man would throw the World Series batting.
Well, and it was also the mafia. They're like, if you lose, we kill you. Okay, so that's a
That's
That's
a
a little-
valid point.
yeah, that's a little bit different. So
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
That's very valid. I'm fine with Shoeless Joe getting in.
Okay. I think I am too. You know,
Yeah.
Field of Dreams, one of my favorite movies.
ever. It's
My
so-
wife hated it. She hated it.
Well, it's really
What
weird.
a shocker.
You know, it's just like
Hated
the voice in the sky and
Yeah,
everything.
oh, I
and
love
it's
it.
just like I love it, but it's just it's an odd movie, but I really like it.
It is. I think this is a great PR move for Rob Manfred because now it's out of his head because he knows every interview he was going to, he was getting asked about Pete Rose. Now he gets to say, hey, it's out of my hands. I made him eligible. That's off to a whole nother entity. I don't have to worry about it ever again.
He's just
I think that's smart on his
Pontius Pilate. He's washing his hands in the situation.
Is he the Pontius
Again,
Pilate
biblical.
of
Yeah.
It took us 89 episodes, but we have made our first biblical reference, and it's Rob Manfred is Pontius Pilate,
Yeah.
which
I don't
actually
think-
kind of sort of makes. I think that makes sense.
I
doesn't
don't
it?
think letting in Pete
works.
Rose is as much as killing of the Savior. However, it's just,
Let's let that be the episode name.
Is Pete Rose Jesus Christ? Is that what?
no,
Is that what you said?
at all what I just
Is that
said.
what you
I'm pretty
said?
sure that's exactly word for word what you said.
No.
Joey, Pontius Pilate. I'm so glad we just made a biblical reference. Like,
Oh my God.
also, I think Dan
beautiful.
Patrick made the best point ever that no one has made money, more publicity than not being in the Hall of Fame than Pete Rose. If he
read
was
his book.
just,
I
if he
own
was
his
just,
book.
if he was just a guy in the Hall of Fame with the most hits, that's one thing. But he has really capitalized on not being in the Hall of Fame, and he never fully apologized. And I think that's where Joe, the sports writers, are gonna kind of hold his feet to the fire forever.
Mangrove Joe's going to be like, you don't own that book. I own that book, and you have had it in your possession for 20 years. So thank you, Mangrove Joe. I still have the Pete Rose book.
He gave
I'm
you a
holding
book.
on to it
He
for
let you borrow a book in 2005.
Loaned a book.
I've known him a long time, guys. Yeah.
No, I don't doubt the longevity of your friendship. It's more so you hang on to one single book and you're still holding it over his head 2 decades later. Like,
No, I just thought of it because I was like, how did I get that?
I think it's time to mail it back to me.
Do you know where the book is at?
Yeah, it's down. It's on my bookshelf. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Pontius Pilate, huh? That was Pete Rose's JC.
Pete Rose as
No,
Jesus
he's not.
Christ.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay. All right, boys, let's get to the NBA, huh? Since last time we recorded, we have not really given the NBA a lot of love or support because it's the NBA playoffs and it's way too long.
And it's dead to me now.
Oh,
It is
Nuggets are
just
out.
irrelevant.
It's Nuggets are out. It's dead to me.
okay. Okay. Well,
Harsh.
since we've last talked, we got a Final Four. We got Thunder, Timberwolves, just about looking like it's going to wrap up. And the Pacers and the Knicks, 3 teams have never won a ring. The Knicks haven't won a ring in 55 plus years since Willis Reed broke his leg and came back in 1972. I hope people know about that
Deep
story.
cut.
They should totally look it up if they haven't. Guys, Final Four, also the Nuggets, I know it's a few weeks ago at this
Oh my
point,
God.
but it's
It
fair
still
disappointing
hurts.
as a Denver crowd.
It is sad. It's just
still
sad.
hurts.
It's sad.
Yeah. So it's looking like Pacers, Thunder, team of 2 small markets. Do we give a shit? Should the NBA, is this good for them? Since they haven't won a ring, everyone wants the small market teams, but no one watches the small market teams. Final Four NBA boys, let's do it. What do you got?
I mean, at the end of the day, SGA is one of the most undeserving MVPs that we've seen in a while. As just a complete free throw merchant. I mean,
That's
he
his
is
nickname.
so skilled with the basketball, but just doesn't care. And it drives me nuts because the Thunder receive all this praise for they play so tough, they play so hard on defense. And then as soon as you get them on offense, if you're even breathing on them, they're on the floor. And it's just bullshit. It's the most boring version of basketball out there. It feels like the next step in the James Harden saga has been taken over by SGA.
Chapter 2?
It's unwatchable. I mean, I don't know how anybody roots for the Thunder. With that being said, let's go Halliburton. Let's go Pacers. Let's get the job done. Send SGA and all of those flops packing back to OKC.
Flops should never be in the NBA playoffs. The fact that flops and
100%
are associated.
But it's such absolute bullshit. If you watch that Nuggets and Thunder series, which is going to be which is proving itself to be the best series of the playoffs, and it probably will be the best series of the playoffs. But you're watching that, they were so ticky-tacky on everything on SGA. And then in game 7, while still being ticky-tacky on SGA and allowing him to get 30-plus points and be the hero in Oklahoma City, allowing Alex Caruso to just mug Jokic. All right. And just like, yeah, he was playing tight defense, but you can't call that tight defense and then call every single thing where he's not even getting touched, or he's just running straight into you, pulling a LeBron, you know, and just going up and getting points. I can't stand it.
They're wasting Jokic years.
Jokic cannot play 43 minutes a game. He can't do it. He's enormous. He will break, he will wear down, and he will get beat by Alex Caruso. And that's exactly what happened. Alex Caruso's 6 inches smaller than him and just manhandled him down there because Jokic is freaking exhausted and he can't do everything. But that series pissed me off. They should have won 5 games in that series. All right, they blew 3 wins. I mean, it was just like
That's coaching. That's all coaching.
Oh my God, I know. And then Michael Malone,
Almost like
coming
not
out.
having a head coach.
Bitch in the ass, you mean? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean like an interim guy who has never been head coach? Didn't?
Like Michael Malone came out and said, "See, this is why SGA should be the MVP." I was like, "Oh, don't be bitter, Michael."
He said that?
He did.
Oh,
He did. It's coming out that
Judas.
Jokic. It's coming out that another one. Another one.
How many? Let's. All right, I got to get one in now.
God, I hope the Nuggets do something this offseason. I know that they just hired David Adelman to be their permanent coach. I'm like, God, that's not going to inspire anything.
it's real bad, boys.
Yeah,
Dan Patrick called it organizational malpractice of what they're doing to
insane.
Jokic.
They still
what
don't.
they're
They
doing
still
to
don't
him.
have a GM. And so who made that decision? Not the GM to hire David Adelman.
Kroenke?
I mean, yeah, just Josh Kroenke made that decision. All
Because
right,
we got
now,
a cheap coach.
So okay, I'm so
terrible.
pissed. I'm so pissed that Anthony Edwards hasn't shown up and just dominated like we always are just waiting for him to do. We know that he can. Where is Ant-Man? We're waiting for it, and then he just doesn't show up when we need him at like the height. Yes, he dominated the Nuggets, and then where was he in the Western Conference Finals last year? Nowhere. Where was the Olympics? Benched for some reason. We have no idea. When I was wanting him to take over and just go. Like, it's not happening. So now we have to sit through the freaking Thunder and watch that boring ass basketball. However, you have the Pacers. No one freaking talked about them all season long.
Or the last decade, honestly.
I mean, look, at all. Right. And you look at them since the All-Star break, they have the best record in basketball. This team is on a heater. All right. Rick Carlisle is coaching the shit out of them. They are deep as hell. And Tyrese Halliburton is turning into a bona fide superstar this series. Because why? He's playing the freaking Knicks. All right, so everybody in the world is finally watching him play basketball, and they're seeing this dude ball when he just got voted the most overrated player in the NBA by the NBA players.
By his colleagues.
By the players.
Why would you have that poll as a what?
Just for talking points and just to
Why?
be.
Oh, they're so desperate for.
So what does Halliburton do? Hits what should have been a game winner, tiny little toe on the 3-point line, pulls the Reggie Miller choke.
Oh,
baby.
he did.
Absolutely.
In front of Reggie Miller. In front
of Reggie and Spike Lee. Oh my God, just epic. But it was, they tied. It's just, if they would have lost that would have been one of the most epic mess ups ever. But yeah, they didn't. And,
Wait, Embiid was not number one most overrated by one. I'm confused on the colleagues voting on the most. Does the NFL have this? I don't think they have the most overrated.
Apparently, it was only like 5 total votes, but still, he got like the most. So
what are we? The NBA is so desperate. All right, so the NBA should not be excited about 2 small market teams who have never won, or should they? Should the basketball fan be excited about these 2 teams, but the overall population probably not?
If it doesn't involve a New York or LA team, then like it's just
people just don't care.
Or Boston
or Chicago
LA team.
Yeah,
they're Chicago. I mean, but Chicago hasn't been there in forever.
Chicago's
they're riding the 90s, maybe. Yeah, they're riding the 90s.
But yeah, they just won't care. They're just like, oh shit, like then no one's gonna watch this. It was like the Spurs and Cavs in 2007. No one gave a shit. All right. And you got to see some of the greatest players ever, but no, we don't care.
Oh gosh.
Adam Silver's out there like, I sold my soul to get Luka Doncic to the Lakers and traded the number 1 pick in the draft to the Mavs so that we could have a shot of one of my coastal,
interesting,
like tippity tip top teams make it into the finals so that we could at least have one fan base that would show up and watch this shit sport.
And Tatum tore his Achilles. I mean, it's just
man. Yeah, he's gonna be out for a whole year.
The timing.
Yeah, that's so brutal.
It's like OBJ timing.
Year. Yeah, that's brutal. Celtics are screwed.
Oh gosh. Guys, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Let's talk WNBA real quick. Can Angel Reese shut the fuck up?
She cannot.
Holy cow. She
has very much proven that she cannot.
Are we at the point where
insane.
she is so average that she should get 0 publicity? Like,
Yeah,
this is
but it's not going to happen because of how well she stat pads because she's so bad at shooting.
Well, she's not even
Gets the
stat padding.
rebounds
She's
on
just
her
that
own
bad.
misses. All right, so she'll get 15 rebounds. It was like, oh shit! But this is a real stat I saw. She's shooting 23% from the field. That's the worst in WNBA history.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's just like,
And what is her average distance from the rim, would you say?
like, it's got to be 4 feet. I mean, like it has to be.
Yeah, she's not putting up threes. She's not
no.
putting up mid-range. She's
She's-
under the basket or next to under the basket.
She's a phenomenal rebounder. Just turning to Dennis Rodman. Don't even try to shoot.
No.
Like there's that one game Rodman had 0 points, 28 rebounds.
I would say he made an impact, Joe, in that game.
Yeah, I'm just not. It's like no, it's not my job.
Angel
I
Reese
suck.
is not Caitlin Clark. She is a subpar WNBA player, decent rebounder. That's
She's
it.
probably the best rebounder in the league. However, she gets half her rebounds from her own shots.
Yeah.
So that's yeah.
She was, me and Chris were talking. Me and Chris hung out, by the way. We were golfing. It was a good time.
Beautiful to see you.
Angel Reese was 0 for 8 from shots within like 3 feet. And it's like the first time ever in the history of the WNBA that someone's been 0 for 8 within that close of the rim. So, Angel Reese.
It's bad. I mean, had she not forced herself into the conversation around considering herself like the counterpoint to Caitlin Clark, like had she been in any other era of the WNBA, she would have been irrelevant.
Yes.
She wouldn't have been a household name. She wouldn't have been known. It was because women's basketball was riding so high at the moment that, due to Caitlin Clark and all that she was doing. And in college, Angel Reese was genuinely like
Top 5.
better than her
Really good.
competition.
Yeah.
Really good.
But now all of a sudden she enters the pros, and in any other time, in any other era of the WNBA, she would have been just a forgotten name that was excellent in college and now nobody.
She's playing the Draymond Green playbook, and I don't think it's a good playbook. Not a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of positives in that playbook.
With Draymond? Well,
Anyways,
Caitlin Clark got the first injury of her career. She's out 2 weeks, so we'll see. I mean, but I turned on the TV today, and the Fever is still nationally televised. So they're like, oh, man.
those ratings are dropping. Guys, let's take a quick music break. We got some squeezes and Todd on the other side. Music break. Oh, you stuck it in, Joe. Bow, we're so back, boys. Episode 88 of the Juice Boy Show. The only podcast in the entire freaking world, no one has corrected us yet, run by 3 brothers-in-law sports podcasts ever in the history of the world. That's pretty good.
Maybe not ever, but it's the only one now.
That's a pretty good marketing shtick for us, guys.
yeah.
So we're going to explode here.
It's working
guys,
great.
Squeeze of the week, Moron Mountain. Claim to shame. I'm on the list, but we're going to give it to a listener submitted. Joe, you got one you want to read there?
I had a call out on this in the last episode, and I knew that he would respond. All right, little hockey time, hockey talk, boys. All right, so we already talked. We already got into my hatred of the Dallas Stars and them ruining the Avs season again. Made a comment about how I want an all Canada final. All right, because I hate the Dallas Stars. And I don't care. I can't say I hate the Panthers and Hurricanes. I just don't give a shit. All right. And so I wanted a all Canada final. Soon as I said that, what happens? Toronto loses. All right. And so there goes the all Canada option. But quick little check-in. Edmonton's up 3-1. They're kicking the living shit out of Dallas right now. Hopefully by the time this comes out, Edmonton will have advanced. And then for Mangrove Joe, those scrappy, dirty-ass Florida Panthers are beating the shit out of the Hurricanes, and it's looking like they're going to make it to their 3rd consecutive Stanley Cup. Now, they won last year, but they're going to try to go for 3 in a row of appearances. So I knew Joe would get pissed about that. So here is his retort.
Okay.
Ooh, we love a retort.
I can't believe you guys think it's okay to give one to Canada. Fuck them. There's a reason it's called the day that changed hockey forever. The day Montreal traded Patrick Waugh was the day it's all started. Call it a curse or call it dominance by the USA. For the record, the 1993 Canadiens were the last team from the north of the border to win a Stanley Cup.
Oh.
Fitting, they were the team to trade Waugh. Not to mention, those cocksuckers booed our national anthem.
He's got receipts. He's got receipts.
Okay.
What's so bad about the cup coming back to Florida? Hell, I'd rather see Dallas hoist the cup before a Canadian team. You bite your tongue, Joe. Keep this shit up, and I'll be nominating all three of you to Moron Mountain. Keep the Stanley Cup in the USA. What would be better than seeing the cup being skated around by another American team with Freebird melting the ice in Miami? There we go. There we go. Freebird.
Oh my God.
Gotta have
Mangrove
a
Joe,
moment, yeah.
saltier than the sea air
Salty.
itself.
Saltier than the
shit.
Gulf of America.
Mangrove Joe, what you're looping me and Chris into this bullshit of Joe.
Yeah, I
That's
feel awfully signed on for the shit Joey spews just because I happen to be also on the podcast.
yeah, we're brothers by law, not by blood. So there is still a degree of
You can
buffer
still
there.
back out.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not locked
we
into
love
this.
each other enough
No,
to get the federal government involved, but not enough to back one another's play.
Yeah,
That's right.
shitty takes. Joe, I guess you can take it for. You're on your own. Okay. Mangrove Joe took us. Canada's a fine place.
I love Canada, but you know, it's like I've been there a couple times, but and both times have been fun. However, I can't argue with what Joe said, and I didn't realize I totally forgot all about that. I mean, like they have not won since they traded Patrick Waugh. I mean, that's incredible. And for Montreal to trade Patrick Waugh, the French Canadians to trade Patrick Waugh is just like the most absurd thing ever. All right, after winning all those cups and everything, and then he literally his last thing he did was flip the bird to all the fans in Montreal and said I'll never play here again. Won a cup his first freaking year in Colorado. I mean, that's insane. So, and also guess where the Avs used to play? Quebec. They were the Quebec Nordiques. So they moved from Quebec, moved to Colorado, and won in their first season there. All right. And so that's
Hell yeah.
incredible. It has been since 1993. I love the curse take. I'm just pulling this as in terms of just rivalries and teams. I hate Dallas. I hate them, especially with Mikko Rantanen ripping my heart out. Like I just no, I don't want to see them succeed. Florida, okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's all right. I mean, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead. Yeah.
Just a little-
I'm
a
still
little
rooting for Edmonton. Let's go, Edmonton.
I'm a little butthurt that we just got dragged through the mud with you. I didn't think that would happen. I thought everyone knew that we were separate and a little. You know,
Yeah. I think we really go out of our way to establish that there's nobody who hates our takes more than each other.
Yeah. But we got lumped into your
Yeah.
idiocracy. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Mangrove Joe. Appreciate that. Kind of, sort of.
Beautiful.
But thanks for ripping Joe.
So who you pulling for?
That being said, I'll be going for the Oilers because Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl deserve to hoist that cup. So
I'm with you, Chris.
sorry, Mangrove Joe, but it has nothing to do with like USA versus Canada or anything like that. I just think McDavid and Draisaitl, I mean, they're just fantastic.
Thanks, Mangrove Joe. Appreciate that. I think I'm up, guys. It's been a while.
You're up?
How we doing?
What do you want to tell us?
What bone do you have to pick? That really grinds my gears.
It's
McCoy's
not-
been known to pick a bone.
This is going to be. You guys are not going to like this. This is my. I got.
Okay.
Squeeze. I have a thought.
Okay.
Start with Patrick Mahomes or anything about Kansas City, and then there.
No.
Oh, okay.
I just realized this about myself, and I feel like I've maybe talked to people about it, and no one agrees. I am not for recording of live sports in any way whatsoever.
What?
Either I watch it live or I don't watch it at all. I'm not going to go back and watch the first quarter of a game that's already happened.
You are crazy.
Yeah. I think it's
awful
a me problem, but I think it's the dumbest thing. I'm not going to the game's over, I missed it. Let me see the score, let's move on. If it was a priority, I would do what I can to watch it. Call
Are
me
you
old
saying
school?
have you not recorded the Chiefs Super Bowls and then rewatched them?
No, not at all.
You are insane. I have watched the Malcolm Butler interception game, Super Bowl 48, probably
That's
30
I'm
times.
saying I
in
don't
its
think-
entirety.
Listen,
yeah.
I don't even know if I agree with how I'm handling it, but that's just what I feel. Like the Masters, I missed the last few holes. I'm not going back to watch it. I'm not recording this. I missed
you're
it.
insane.
Oh
I
my
didn't
God, dude.
prioritize it. Therefore, I shouldn't watch it. I'm not
Dude,
going to go
I
back.
record every single Husker game, and when I have a shitty day, I'll go back still and watch this past year's Nebraska-Colorado game.
It's not about the journey, boys.
Just to remind
Life's
myself
just about the
that
outcome.
there's
you
still
know?
goodness in the world.
No,
Life's-
like on Saturdays when I'm coaching football, and I know there's some big college football games on. I do not look at my phone until I get home, and and people are talking about. I'm like, no.
Yeah, see, you got to be that guy. You know, if I'm missing it, so you were doing something more important than watching the game.
Yeah, but now I can go back and experience it like I'm watching it because I
You
haven't
missed
seen
it. No,
No.
you missed it.
No,
You're
because
watching something that's already happened.
I can only watch so many things live. I could watch everything from DVR, and I am just loaded up. I'm not getting up at 2 a.m. to watch F1 in Saudi Arabia. I'm not doing that. I've never watched F1 live because I'm never up. It's always on the other side of the world, you know. So I always record it.
Yeah, I'm not into it. I don't do it. If I miss it, I miss it.
So you can watch like 2 F1 races in the entire calendar.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. This just means,
It's lame.
you know,
This is all a Cody problem, guys. I'm not saying
big
anyone should be
stretch.
like this, but
big
I
stretch.
don't do
But
it.
if KC ever winds up in another Super Bowl, I'm going to kidnap you and tie you to a chair.
If I miss it, I miss it.
The
That's where I'm
moment that
at.
the game is over.
If I missed the first
Just to
quarter because
test
I was
this.
driving, I'm not going back to watch what I missed. It's like if I know the score, what is there the point of going back and watching?
Chris, I guarantee you, I still have last year's Super Bowl recorded and saved on my DVR. You can kidnap him.
I have like the
and have
past
him
several
make him watch
seasons
that.
worth of Husker football.
Yeah, watch that instead of the actual Super Bowl.
I caught myself doing it. I'm like, oh, I'm never going to record. I
Kansas
just,
City's not making it again this year. Come on.
I said it's a stretch.
Oh,
If they ever make it again,
ever?
I'll keep that recorded
we'll
forever.
kidnap McCoy.
So that's my
yeah,
take.
we might
Squeezy?
We might just have to.
Juicy?
Yeah, that's
I hate it.
terrible.
Yeah, it's like I record so much of
I
everything.
mean, this is on par with like you hating children.
Yeah. And
On
Little
par
League
with
Baseball. Yeah.
Little League Baseball, I got a fucking bone to pick. I might
do.
re-bring that up this year. It's been a while. So yeah, that's my squeeze, and I'm sticking to it. Damn it! Don't record your
Oh
stuff.
my God, Juice
Prioritize
Junkies, please write in and just berate McCoy.
My whole
for
life,
this.
I haven't understood it. Or people are like, don't tell me. I'm like, you're here instead of watching it, so you must not care that much. So get your priorities straight.
God, I went to the Nebraska Rutgers game, watched it live, and then came home and watched the recording just to be like, I wonder what that looked
I was
like
there. I've
from
done that several
midfield
times.
instead of the end zone in the shitty seats that I can afford.
Guys, I said it before. Life's
be a-
about the end, not the
You would be a
journey.
terrible coach. You know how much film I've watched?
I never liked
Recorded tape?
film. I never liked watching film. I always got kind of annoyed watching film.
But meanwhile, you've watched Seinfeld over and over and over and over again. A
But I
show
don't
that was-
record
that was
it. I don't
essentially
record it.
done
So you just
before you
start
started
recording.
walking.
I just don't like recording. If it's on, I'm watching it. If it's on Netflix on demand, but I'm not like prioritizing going back and watching it, guys.
No,
Like
I hate
not
commercials
recording. How do you think
so
that they're
much.
replaying it?
What do you mean?
They're using a recording.
Yeah.
So because someone
Okay,
else
if
recorded it, you don't count it. You're-
Like I'm not gonna sit down and be like, oh, I gotta set my DVR.
Okay,
like-
so like if I bring you to
Like, it's
my
really
house
that
and then I
hard.
start playing, an old game of some sort, you're like, well, technically Chris recorded this, so now it's just on.
no, I disagree with them.
No, you
Or
said by
anytime we go
pushing-
to our beautiful father-in-law's and he's always 16 holes behind on the golf that we're watching, and then I see it on my phone, I'm like, fuck, well, I gotta sit here for 3 more hours, even though I knew
Right.
what happened.
But don't look at your phone.
No, like that's
Just gotta just avoid that temptation and not watch
don't do it.
commercials.
No,
I hate
do better.
commercials that much. So I hate I hate it.
So it's a me
far-
problem.
Bad take.
So far, all
Real
the
bad
squeezy
take.
nominees are you so far, Cody. So yeah, get rid of bowl games. Nice. The Chiefs will win 4 straight Super Bowls. Nice. And then I don't record sports. So nice.
when
All
did I
right.
say 4 straight? Did I pose it
You
as a
did say
question
that.
and you wrote
did
it
say
down?
that. No. I
I have
remember
it dated
you
as
calling
January
it.
1st on New Year's. Yeah.
Were we together with
were.
whiskey? Okay.
It went 4 straight. We went 4 straight, boys.
And Joey was coherent enough to write it
3,
down?
not
That's
4.
not
I mean, the
supposed-
spelling's not
5,
great, but
not
it's
6,
written.
not 7.
Joey, if people like myself and Mangrove Joe want to submit their squeeze of the week, our most outlandish take, our claim to shame when you eat the crow on a bad take, or Moron Mountain where you nominate the dumbest moments of sports, how do they do so?
Remember, Juice Junkies, you could submit your most outlandish sports take, Moron Mountain nominee, claim to shame, or whatever else by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. What the hell happened there? Or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow, and if it has the pulp, we'll read it on the show. Chris!
Hey, buddy.
Here he is. Who's sponsoring today's show?
Fellas, I hate to say it, but after our little break, advertisers haven't exactly been beating down the door to sponsor this little show of ours.
Is that right?
But when the chips are down, what do?
Damn it, Joe.
You dig deep and you get creative. So I went where all intrepid entrepreneurs look for the best possible business opportunities, and I went to the spam folder in our Juice Boys inbox. Here's what I found.
Oh my God.
This email comes from our dear, dear friend, Sheikh Hamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who represents the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority.
I wonder where that listen came from.
He
The
begins,
Emirates.
Dear business leader. Well, yes, Sheikh Hamed, we are absolutely leaders of business. Are you searching for reliable funding for your next venture? Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi Investment Authority is offering flexible investment financing at a competitive 3.5% annual interest rate. Wow. Off to a great start here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We fund projects in real estate, energy, healthcare, technology, manufacturing, agriculture, and more.
Oh,
I think I speak for all of us when I say this podcast proudly qualifies for and more. If you have a profitable project, we are eager to explore a strategic partnership. Additionally, we provide a 1.5% commission to fiduciary agents who successfully introduced investment-worthy projects. Well, you'll be happy to know, Mr. Sheik, we are 100% fiducians. So that's perfect. Let's connect and discuss how we can work together to drive success. Best regards, Sheikh Hamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Managing Director. So needless to say, we here at the Juice Boys Show are proud to announce our new partnership with the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, which is definitely a real thing and absolutely won't steal your identity. So make sure you reach out to our new BFF immediately, Sheikh Hamed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Definitely send him your social security number and watch as that sweet, sweet Abu Dhabi cash just rolls right on in.
Hey, we eat our own dog food. We've already applied and given all of our socials, and we're waiting to get the cash in our accounts.
Any day now.
I just hope he's as trustworthy as that Nigerian prince. You know,
I mean,
really
Sheikh
think,
Hamed would not lead us astray.
Of course not. From the spam box, Chris. I love that. All right, guys,
It's my favorite place to go.
our big topic of the day. We have two small market NBA teams most likely going to the NBA Finals. Theoretically, it could be forgettable, 5 to 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So the boys got thinking, who is the most forgettable champion or forgettable MVP in sports history? Usually there's the big ones that people remember, but there's always these ones that squeak by. You're like, oh shit, that guy won. Oh shit, that team won. I completely forgot about that. So let's go into the depths of our sports minds, boys.
Yeah.
Joey, start us off. Who is one of your most forgettable teams or MVPs?
All right. So when you boys think of breaking the curse, what do you think of?
The Red
I
Sox.
think of the Chicago
or
Cubs.
the Cubs.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. The Red Sox broke an 86-year curse. All right. And in 2004, that's all anybody talked about for years before and years after. The Cubs were 100 years of not winning, and that's all anybody talked about. And that's still all the city of Chicago is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
However, do you know who won the World Series in 2005? The year after the Red Sox?
Cardinals? Angels? San Francisco Giants?
The Chicago White Sox.
Oh, that's right.
All right. And the Chicago
wow.
White Sox, well, that was their first World Series win in 88 years.
Whoa.
So it was longer than the Red Sox drought. All right. And they beat the
They
Cubs
weren't
to
cursed.
it.
They just sucked.
They beat the Cubs to the win, and no one gave a shit. And no one still remembers them ever, because I was looking at it, and in their entire history of their team, they have less than 10 total playoff appearances. All right.
Whoa.
They have been a team since 1901.
Oh my
All right.
God.
And so this was the Chicago Black Sox. This was the newly reinstated Shoeless Joe Jackson's team. All right. And so that's insane. 88 years, longer than the Red Sox, but no one remembers it. When I said breaking the curse, you said Red Sox and Cubs. The poor White Sox, man.
I guess the
And,
Red Sox
yeah.
traded Babe Ruth, though. I mean, there's a little bit that are not really
I'm not
story.
sure
with.
if there was a curse for the Sox, but they
Just-
just
yeah,
they
everybody just collectively
sucked.
understood
Yeah.
that they're just bad. You're
Yeah, they
not
just-
cursed. You were just that bad. forever.
generationally bad.
Yeah.
Just
So
not
they won
happening.
the World Series in 06. They won in 1917. They lost the World Series in 1919. Did not make it back to the World Series until 1959. And then 1959 till 2005. That is massive. And nobody remembers it. Nobody talks about the 2005
Very
Chicago
forgettable.
White Sox. So like
Very
very forgettable.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
Chris, can you beat the White Sox? Which are
I think I
actually
can.
black, which has always been
Yeah,
interesting
right.
to me.
Well, actually, they were red in the 70s.
They wore
The
shorts
uniforms
for a
were
little bit
red.
in the 80s. They wore shorts.
Yeah.
They can't quite make up their minds.
No.
Let's just talk about the most undeserving national champion of all time. Just the most undeserving university to ever have a football program. The Colorado Buffaloes.
Oh, nice.
In
did forget about that.
1990, the Colorado Buffaloes managed to win the Orange Bowl, their first bowl win in 19 years, putting them at a incredible 11-1-1 schedule. Putting them at an incredible 11-1-1 record that should have never been, because earlier that season they managed in the final moments of their game against Missouri, a game that they were losing.
Yes.
They were given a 5th down.
Oh, Lordy.
They converted into a touchdown, leading them to a win that they didn't deserve, which kept them in title contention, eventually topping Notre Dame.
Wow.
But sharing the national championship. Everybody forgets that too. They didn't
Yeah,
have
the
it by
shared
themselves.
national championship is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
That's forgettable. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember who they shared it with? This was their last national championship too. Georgia Tech.
Hey.
A very
Wow,
forgettable.
what a deep pull.
Yeah, very forgettable champions.
So
that
who gives
year.
a shit
So,
and nobody cares?
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds right.
Congrats in
The 5th
1990. I bet at least Georgia Tech won it without needing
A 5th down.
a 5th down to beat a far inferior team. And yeah, that's
pick.
Colorado's only national title
Great
in football.
pick. Great pick. All right, guys.
Hey.
My first pick. I love this team, but it is kind of forgettable. The 2004 Detroit Pistons. They snuck. They snuck one finals win in after Kobe and the three-peat. LeBron and Kobe took it out. There was this 1 year where team
Ben
basketball
Wallace, right?
and then the Spurs also won there. So there's these other teams. Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. You got Lindsey Hunter coming off the bench. Antonio McDyess, Antonio McDyess coming off the bench.
Oh, man, he was good on that team.
Oh, such a fun team to watch. It was 1 year where they couldn't get back. They beat Kobe and Shaq. And it was
And
just
Gary
out-
Payton
and
and
Gary
Karl
Payton, Karl
Malone.
Malone. Yeah.
Yeah, they
It was
were
just
on
such
that
a
team.
fun team. Rip Hamilton was mid-range. They didn't have a superstar. Chauncey Billups was the captain. You had fucking Afro Man Ben Wallace blocking everything.
Just a
Tayshaun
beast.
Prince going
that-
off on
Oh.
6-man. I think he might have won 6-man of the year. Yeah.
And they were I think maybe one of the only teams ever have a all-star, all 5 players were on the court during an all-star game.
That's so.
They were just so fun to watch, so much camaraderie, and it was just a true team effort. But it was one year they couldn't get back. Like I said, sandwiched between a young LeBron, a Kobe. You had Shaq and D Wade. Who else did you have?
Tim Duncan coming this.
Yeah, the whole Spurs era kind of just getting started. Detroit, and I love it. I wish there was more of it, and they stayed together a few more years. The Mask, Rip Hamilton was so fun to watch. But it's kind of forgettable now.
Chauncey Billups a Hall of Famer.
Guys, that was 20 years ago. Holy shit. We are old.
Yeah.
I bet former listener Kendall, if she happened to listen these days, would say that it's not forgettable.
No, and that's what I said. I don't want it to be. It needs to be remembered.
Say it's the most forgettable. It's just one of the most forgotten best teams.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, talk about the 2000s. You talk about the Lakers and the Spurs. Because they just dominated. You forgot about that badass team.
Yeah.
And they were so much fun.
And they only got one, so it's easy to forget. Yeah.
And they had so much shit around them. That's where the Malice in the Palace went down. We were just talking about that. And their team was just so much fun. Ben Wallace just did not. We were just talking about, didn't need to score, didn't want to score.
No, you could make an impact. Defensive player of the year. Yeah. Rasheed Wallace in the post. Also, like before they had
bald spot.
Before you
weird bald spot.
Before you got suspended after so many techs. That was kind of almost because of him, because he led the league in techs for a long time.
I think he led all time.
All time. He might be the all time.
Sure he is the all time leader.
Might be. Yeah. That makes sense. All right, JoJo, pick number 2.
All right, so I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going. I'm going to stick with baseball. However, I'm going to talk about one of the most forgotten MVPs because this dude literally did nothing for like any other point in his career. All right. But then in 1996, in the middle of the steroid boom, Ken Caminiti had one of the best seasons we have ever seen in baseball history. All right. Ken freaking Caminiti. All right, like the dude never hit. He had one season where he hit 303, but this is the only other season he hit 300, hit 326, 40 home runs, 130 RBIs, 37 doubles. All right, and 178 hits, one MVP. But this is the shocking thing about who he beat: Mike Piazza, Chipper Jones, Barry Bonds, Gary Sheffield, Andres Galarraga, Jeff Bagwell. What the hell? Ken Caminiti just came in and dominated. All right. The dude did nothing the rest of his career because he was so roided out. I mean, you look at him and he makes Barry Bonds look small. All right. The dude's neck is the size of my waist. And
just
when
a bunch of Easter Island skulls.
When he started, he was like Chuck Knobloch playing second base, like this tiny little nothing, And then out of nowhere, he comes up looking like Albert Pujols. You're just like, oh my God, you're a machine. How the hell did that happen? I know what happened. All right, and so he won the MVP, and he is like the poster child of the steroid era. Just inject and rip it. All right,
inject it and rip it. There's got to be a better little saying for that. There's got to be something.
No, I mean, he just discovered Flintstones vitamins. That's it. That's all that happened.
That's all. Yeah.
So another thing made Ken Caminiti the poster child for steroids. All right. Now he won in '96. He was retired, washed up by 2001. He died in 2004 at only 41 years old.
Oh, my God.
41 years old.
Holy shit.
Oh, I wonder why.
That might have been more than Flintstones vitamins. I take back what I said. My bad.
It was like horse tranquilizer.
He might have been on vitamin S.
Holy cow. R.I.P.
Did his heart just explode?
Just look at his before and after, his rookie year to 96, and you'd be like, yeah. His heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Little too much juice. No one said, babe, slow it down. No one said.
Dang. The 90s in the MLB is just, it will never be replicated.
No, never again. Oh, Chris, can you beat death by steroids?
I mean, no.
Okay.
Just straight up no. Like this was the team that first came to mind. We were talking about just like, holy shit, how did y'all manage a championship run? Let's talk about the 2012 Super Bowl champion, 9-7 New York Giants.
Oh no!
The New York Giants.
I don't know if that's forgettable.
into the
That's pretty.
playoffs. I mean, I suppose it's not like forgettable, but just
Joey
like
remembers very
undeserving
well.
of
I
like
forget it.
you
I wanna
all
forget
are
it.
one win over 500, but you play in a joke of a conference, and so you're able, or a joke of a division, and so you're able to squeak into the playoffs and somehow go on just the most magical possible run. Now they did beat up on a bunch of no-name scrubs in the Super Bowl.
Oh God!
But yeah, I mean 9-7.
Just no name the
Super Bowl
18-0
champions.
Patriots. Yeah.
Who? No name.
The defeated
Nobody's.
Patriots? Is that what you're saying?
Oh man.
Something like that?
Oh, where did all those undefeated season T-shirts and
What do you
hats
think? The
went?
Ghana?
Those
You
were-
think the,
No, oh,
Do you
I
think
hope
our
so.
friends in Ghana still
I
have
think
some?
those. I literally think those ones went to Nicaragua because they went down there and they saw and went to a girls' soccer team and they won the championship wearing those shirts.
why do you know that?
undefeated?
Why do you
Somebody
know
got
that information?
I hope they were undefeated.
Oh, I want to forget it, but unfortunately, I think it's like the most
Yeah, I mean,
unforgettable
it's
ever.
like
But-
Eli Manning was Brady's kryptonite that year. Like he had just
and
beaten,
again, 4 years later.
I think I might have the actual most forgettable champion of all time. I don't think anyone's beating me on this one.
Yeah.
Joey actually brought it up. The 1919 Black Sox lost. Has anyone ever given credit to the fucking Cincinnati Reds for winning the 1919 World Series?
no,
Never. Zero credit. There is no one even remembers who they played against and won the World Series. The 1919.
Very
They
good
were the
point.
they were the first team. They were first in the NL. They won the pennant. They won 90 games. Side stat of the day: how many home runs was the Reds' top home run hitter? How many home runs did he have
Oh,
in 1919?
18.
I'm gonna go with 8.
5 is the correct answer.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be single
Holy
digits.
shit.
Yeah.
Also, they're
Back in those times, they're playing in fences that were like 700 feet.
yeah.
You know, and so it's just you're not gonna get it out of there.
Also, the manager left the team to enroll in the U.S. during World War I, and in a training exercise when they were testing mustard gas, got tuberculosis. It was a whole thing.
Testing
whole
mustard
story.
gas. They're like, hey,
Some kind
detail
of
this real
training.
quick. Tell us how you feel.
How the hell do you get TB from mustard gas training?
I don't know.
That doesn't.
It
This is
feels like
awful.
things maybe went awry.
I would say so. Yeah.
There's some sort of tomfoolery.
So
going
if for those who aren't following, 1919 is the Black Sox, the White Sox. Have you seen Field of Dreams, Shoeless Joe? They all were banned for life. We talked about earlier in the show. But also someone had to win that World Series. So the mob rigged it. The Red Sox get a ring. And to this day, guys, the Reds don't really talk about it or acknowledge it as they don't celebrate. There's no
like
kind of
everybody's so
did
convinced
they
that it was
win?
fixed that like
they
it's like, yeah, you get the ring, but it was because you just happened to go up against the squad who was taking a dive.
yeah, but they won.
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
get that.
that's a
It's,
great-
it's
that's a
just
great pick.
wild. It's
Yeah.
insane to
Yeah.
think about that. Like you receive no credit for the win. They receive all credit for the loss.
Isn't that and even the organization
wild.
Cincinnati
I'm agreeing
Reds?
with you
Yeah,
here.
the Cincinnati Reds just don't. They don't celebrate. They didn't do like 100-year anniversary of a
they
win.
didn't.
The most forgettable team. I got an update. He was accidentally gassed during a chemical training exercise and then developed
We've all been
tuberculosis.
there.
So
So we gotta thank our producers behind the scene for that update. How the hell do you get that so quick?
yeah, that's
Got an update, yeah. Thanks, Chet. Thanks, Chet.
Just-
I got something in
just-
my ear. Yeah.
a gas exercise. The old manager. But yeah, that's talk about. I mean, there's been movies made about the Black Sox. There's been books written. They're debating Shoeless Joe getting the Hall of Fame. No one gives the old
That would
Cincinnati
be
Reds.
man. I wish I was still in college because that would have been a really good research paper. What happened to that Reds team? Like
Yeah.
they won the World Series, but what happened? Like did
And they were the
anybody get
best team in the.
Did
They were the
anybody
best
care?
team.
You
Yeah,
know?
they were the best team in the NL that year. So it's not.
You
It's
won
not
because
crazy
they-
to think.
You won because they cheated in your favor. That's odd. That's interesting.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
No,
forgettable.
it's like anytime, a big upset happens, the talking heads are, did they did the team really win that game, or was it the other teams to lose?
To lose.
It's like, can we not give credit for like the greatness of overcoming odds, of like knocking down, Goliath? Like,
Yeah.
No.
drives me nuts every time that conversation comes up. I love this pick. Way to go, McCoy.
Yes.
A great one.
Thank you, guys. Hey, compliments? It's very rare.
I got
for
a
the
couple
third
of
turd
just-
over here.
Got a couple of quick honorable mentions here.
Okay.
The Washington Bullets won an NBA Finals. All right, just
Wes Unseld?
Yeah, Wes Unseld, baby.
Okay.
And that was the year before
pull.
the Seattle Sonics won. So they went the Washington Bullets, Seattle Sonics, then Magic and Larry. All right, and so it was the most forgotten. Like, that's when the NBA was dying. Bill Walton.
A lot of cocaine.
A lot of cocaine. Bill Walton got one with Portland. Then, Portland Trailblazers, Washington Bullets, Seattle Sonics in a row. That's just some obscure champions in the 70s. Let's think about that today. Well, the Sonics aren't even a team anymore. Stupid Thunder. Juice Junkies, keep listening to the show. Tell all your friends about the show and listen to it some more on all major podcast networks and YouTube. Please follow and rate the show and leave us a review through Apple, and we encourage you to follow the YouTube and Spotify channels. Be a friend.
Beautiful.
Tell a friend about the podcast.
Please.
Join our Juice Junkie community. Cody, back to you.
Guys, WNBA stat of the day.
Yeah.
Coming?
All right.
Poor Caitlin Clark gets hurt. They have a whole thing going, a lot of race stuff. It's gross. I don't know what we're doing. WNBA
sucks.
just needs to get it together.
Sucks,
Enjoy greatness. It's her playing well results in everyone else getting paid more eyeballs on the sport.
I'm watching a lot of WNBA games.
We talk about
I'm
it,
watching
yeah.
them.
I dig
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so Caitlin Clark is responsible for what percentage of all WNBA economic activity last year? This includes revenue from merch, ticket sales, television, and it's from NBC News. So they had experts evaluate this. What is the percentage that she is individually responsible for of all economic activity?
Holy crap. Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
it's
say
a
like
wow.
20%.
But WNBA doesn't make a lot of money.
They don't make any money, by the way.
McCoy did
never
not.
mind. You're right.
Did
They
not
don't.
respond
They
one
don't,
way
yeah.
or the other to my 20%. So
Yeah.
I didn't give you a number that gave you any.
Maybe I have a good
precision.
poker face.
All
You
right,
don't.
So
You don't.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to go 7.
Joe, you always highball. You lowball?
Yeah.
Guys, 26.5%.
Oh my God, it's high.
I was
Holy
close.
of all economic activity is literally responsible
I was
by
going to go
Caitlin
25,
Clark.
but I was like, there's no way one single athlete is responsible for a quarter of their revenue.
I could not find the economic activity from injuries. They're still working on
We're working on that.
that
was
number.
Did the producers, Chet, you got that yet?
They're still
He's still working
digging
on
deep.
it. He's
If
still
you want to
working on it.
DM her, she'll tell you it's 28%.
Yeah, 26%.
All right, now
That was her
makes-
rookie season.
Now think about that, because I bet a lot of their revenue comes from their ticket sales, and that's
In
probably
jerseys,
why-
I bet a lot of jerseys.
and jerseys. But the Fever were the second to last in attendance before they drafted Caitlin Clark, and so their old stadium, they were playing and only getting like 3,000 people a game. They had to move to the field house in near Indianapolis. I'm not sure, whatever, in Indiana, where the Pacers play. And now when I was just seeing it yesterday on Inside the NBA, and it said, whatever field house, home of the Indiana Pacers and Fever. I'm like, oh shit.
yeah.
And it's just like, it's like part of the sign. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I get it.
I think they
man.
sold out of
It's like,
season tickets. I think men and women are buying Caitlin Clark jerseys. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Hell yeah.
26.5%, guys. Good for her.
I bought one for my wife, and I want to wear it because it'd be fun. So,
You should.
yeah, it's
I mean,
it'll be
I'm
really
always
tight,
a fan
but
of
I want to
watching
wear
you
it.
wear your wife's clothes.
Yeah.
And on
Well,
that,
And on that note, on Joey in a skin tight women's basketball jersey,
Everybody close your eyes and take a moment to imagine.
that's our show,
Iowa.
boys.
skin tight yellow Iowa 22 Clark. Here we
I
go.
love it. Guys, episode 89. I'm sorry,
89.
in the books.
In the books, baby.
Next episode is 90, also a round number. Guys, Instagram's kind of blowing up again. Go and follow. Tell your friends and family.
Love
Tell
your
your,
reaction.
tell your enemies, please.
Love the reception.
Yes.
Love the text. I don't know. I guess I'm the only one who gets text, but people saying, "Love to hear you guys again. Made our drive to work normal again." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh,
love you
We
guys.
miss you, Juice
Yeah.
Junkies. We miss you when we're gone.
oh, we're so back, guys. Love, love, love,
Love.
love.
Love, loves.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Love.
Love.
A little pitchy one more time. 1, 2, 3. Love. Should we let
We
them
nailed
go?
it the
Should we
first
let,
time.
should we
I
let
don't
them go? Okay.
Get out.
Bye.
Bye.